Ladies and gentlemen, I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. Now, the Leopard 1, as most of you will know, is my favourite tank in the game. It's been my favourite tank ever since I bought this tank, like a very long time ago. Now, one thing that this tank is missing, and I can't believe it still hasn't received it, because you know, this is meadsy69's favourite tank. This should have been the first tank on the list to get its PBR file, but no, it's not. And I am still waiting for the upgraded graphics on this tank wargaming. Sort yourself out. Give it the PBR files. As I've said, I am meadsy. Like, this is my favourite tank. It should have been the first tank on the list for the PBR file. That was only a joke, guys. Calm down. It was only a joke. But yeah, the reason I love the tank is because I've said it a lot of times, is the tank, when you play the tank, it makes you think about what you're doing for your next step. Because you've got no armor. You've got no armor whatsoever. But what you do have is the best DPM of any medium tank in the game. Pretty much the highest DPM. And that is 3,772, which is the best. The reload time is 5.7. You've got decent enough penetration. You can run it with calibrated shells if you want. But I just run it with the rammer. So 255 on your pen, 300 on your heat pens. Most people will run it with calibrated shells. Also, because also on top of the good DPM, you've got a 2.8 second aim time, which is very good. And you've also got a 2.72 dispersion, which again is very good. And 9 degrees of gun depression to go with that. So we're just going to go into some games and just to see what this tank can be like when played on the battlefield. Now, as I've said, you have to be very careful. Now, the Leopard 1 doesn't do very well on the battlefield, and it's a tank that I'm very not worried about if I come up against it, because it takes a lot of skill to be able to drive the Leopard. In fact, I believe it's one of the lowest win rate tanks in tier 10s when it comes to mediums, because people just don't do well in it. People really do not do well in the tank. However, I still love the tank. Honestly, I love the tank, and I've loved it for years. You know, it is my favourite tank in the game, and I think because it has been my favourite tank for a very long time, I do honestly think there will be no other tank that is, for me, better than the Leopard 1. So you can see here, there is a lot of tanks in front of you, and even though you out DPM almost anything that comes your way, you still have to be very careful, because some mediums, like an E50M, they still might be able to win a 1 versus 1 battle with you because they've got armor. They have a little bit of armor. You've got other mediums that might have a good turret, and you're going to get some bounce. You might bounce them on the odd occasion. But anyone that shoots you, they're most likely not going to bounce you. So any shell that comes your way is most likely not going to bounce. So you've got to bear that in mind. So there was a very nice high roll into that Leopard 1 there. And you can see sometimes you can't really pump up that damage very quickly. But again, you can see I'm not blocking the T62. I'm actually trying to hide sort of behind him a little bit, because I don't want to get shot. And because if I do get shot, I'm going to be penned. And that's the downfall with this tank. It doesn't have a turret, doesn't have any hull armor at all. So you will get penetrated. So there's our third kill. We're on 2.6k damage. We've got that pretty easily, to be honest, and it is now a 6 versus 3. So we're pretty much at this stage in the game. We are going to win. There's the Chieftain Mark 6, and I just want to rush in now to get as much damage as I possibly can. Thank you, M60, for driving in front of me. That wasn't his fault. He was driving. Most people would actually rage around about now because of that, but I know he didn't block me on purpose. That was my own fault, and that was something that I just gotta get out the way, get over it, and move on. So that was not his fault, not my fault. It's one of those things that happen. So you can see we're on 2.9k damage. It's not the best damage. It's not the best damage at all. But you could do this a lot often than not, because it has that gun, it has that accuracy, it has the DPM, and when you can pull off shots not so much like that, hopefully I think we're going to pull off a shot here where you could just aim and look at that, you know, and this is why I absolutely love this tank, because you can pull off shots like that. It's got a laser of a gun, so easy win there. And this next one we're going to play, and I get absolutely wrecked. I did this on a stream actually, and I get absolutely wrecked. But you can see, when I always say go for the lower hit point tanks, because if you don't clear the lower hit point tanks, even a tank on a one shot, then it is going to come back to haunt you, because that is still a gun in the game. Now, I'm not sure quite how I bounced that Sheridan there. Again, the Sheridan being troll, but we do manage to clear that guy very early on. And now with these two guys coming around this corner, I need to get out of there. But as I'm running away, you're going to see that there are a couple of tank destroyers in that position that I should have really knew that, to be honest. And I get wrecked. So straight away, within a minute gone, I am almost a one-shot. I'm a one-shot if they high roll these mediums, and I'm a one-shot to the heavy and all the tank destroyers. So now I need to play it even more careful than I should have been playing. I wasn't really careful. So I'm always looking at to where that grill is. And of course, I want to clear that grill, but shooting its tracks really isn't going to help. So 1100 damage done at the minute. I'm still alive, and I am spotted. And stupidly, I track him again. I shoot his tracks. That is 2 shots on this stupid grill. But we do get a nice shot there. 397 alpha. And he's still there at the moment. And now, again, I don't want to rush into him because I know he would be able to clear me. So I'm just going to aim. Again, these kind of shots is like a laser. You know, you don't even need to aim really. You just point that in that direction and shoot. So we're still alive. We've got 1.9k damage. Again, we lost, you got to remember, we lost all of our hit points really early on. Now, most leopard drivers will have died by now. But when I get shot and when I lose all my hit points, I do play it a little bit more cautious. And again, that shot there into that Minotauro, 450. And again, that was just like a snapshot. I look, I shoot, and I score, basically. So now it is a 2 versus 2. I'm going to let that guy go forward and kill him first, and the grill is going to take the attention of the T-57. Now, of course, if I was the T-57, I would be trying to go for me because I'm a one-shot, and then you could go for the grill. But he's going to try to go for the grill, not even sure, because at the moment, he's not shooting. I think he just shot there, actually. And then he kind of gives up. I'm not sure why he gives up. Maybe he's reloading. I don't know. But he's going to go in. I get a nice shot there. And now he is a one-shot. But again, not sure what this grill is even doing. But, you know, I'm not going to complain. I get my 3 kills. And we end the game on 4k damage. So even though you're a one-shot, the battle is never over until you're dead. Just carry on. Play it more safely. And you might be able to come off victorious as well when we end on a first class. So it's a very, very difficult tank to play. Very difficult. Most people don't do well. The stats don't look great. The win rate don't look great overall on the tank because people just do not do well. But you play it with a little bit of safety. I mean, think about what you're doing a little bit. Then you could possibly perform better in the Leopard 1. It is a great tank, guys. Absolutely amazing tank, but you need to play it correctly. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts on the Leopard 1. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye.
with